Today I will be showing you the Glass Menagerie, Illusion, by Stephanie Weatherly. Illusion. This can be defined as the following: a false idea or belief, a deceptive appearance or impression, or a thing that is or is likely to be wrongly perceived or interpreted by the senses. The concepts of illusion are present in every aspect of the Glass Menagerie, which can be seen in the way each character chooses to live their lives. Each character lives in a false reality, either dreaming of a better day or living in the past when times were good. Unfortunately for them all, this leads to serious repercussions in their everyday lives. Illusion throughout the play. Each character in the Glass Menagerie is living in the past. They refuse to accept that what has happened cannot be changed, such as their father abandoning them 16 years ago. I mean, even in their house still today, they still have his picture displayed as if he was some hero to them. They also cannot move on. Though they are unable to see the consequences, living in a false reality has greatly impacted each character. Mother is trying to do the best she can. The son works in the warehouse. The daughter is crippled, never has been able to finish school. She is shy and spends her time collecting animals. Nicholas 138. I chose this outside source because I really feel as if this individual captured the whole of the novel. Every line there is correct. The mother is trying to do the best. The son has a terrible job at the warehouse, which he doesn't care about and doesn't make good enough money at. And the daughter is crippled, both physically and mentally. She is shy. And I mean, the title's The Glass Menagerie, portraying the glass menagerie that she tends to play with to make herself feel less alone. Tom. Tom's illusion is adventure. His hopes are to run away and join the military, finding adventure away from the reality he is stuck in with his dependent mother and sister. He is unable to find adventure in his simple warehouse job. He doesn't care about this job at all. He goes to the movies every night, stays out late drinking, sludges into work late. He doesn't care. He knows that's not where he wants to be, and unfortunately, he chooses to try and follow the same path as his father and leave his mother and sister in the dust. Repercussions. Tom lives in a dream where he will one day leave his family and find adventure in the military. He chooses to join the Union of Merchant Seamen rather than pay the light bill. This you can see in the play when, as Laura is entertaining her gentleman caller Jim, who is Tom's friend, the lights get shut out on them after they're finished eating. All because he chose to make this decision not caring about how it would affect his family or himself while he's still living there. He just wants to be free. I go to the movies because I like adventure. Adventure is something I don't have much of at work, so I go to the movies. William 1669. This is probably the realest portrayal of Tom's want to get out. He goes to the movies seeing all these people fighting, acting, doing these great, wonderful things. And he just gets to go home and be an average Joe. And that's not good enough for him. Unfortunately, his repercussions are that he's going to leave his family and they're going to have no way to support themselves. Laura. Laura's illusion is a false sense of reality in which she will always be taken care of. Due to her cripple and introverted personality, her mother and brother have always coddled her. She hides within her glass menagerie. Laura, in my opinion, has a slight limp in her leg, and that is the only thing that's wrong with her. It's her mind that's crippled, and she does it to herself. If her mother and brother would break down those walls and let her enter the world, and almost throw her out there and not let her hide back in and come climb back and hide with her glass animals, she might succeed. Repercussions. Laura is able to leave the house and do great things, but stays lost in her glass menagerie. She's trapped herself, as I've said before. You think of yourself as having the only problems, as being the only one who's disappointed. But just look around you, and you'll see lots of people as disappointed as you are. William 1690. Jim said this to Laura after they had eaten dinner together, and I feel it's a real depiction of Laura's problem. She cripples herself. And unless she can break through those walls, cut down her illusions, and stop having this false sense that someone's always going to be there to take care of her and she doesn't need to enter the outside world, she's not going to survive. Amanda. Amanda's illusion is the past, which she is unable to move on from. She continues to live in the time when she was the most desired woman in Blue Mountain, often speaking of her 17 gentlemen callers. Repercussions. Because of Amanda's illusions, she's unable to see Tom's wandering mind and Laura's drastic introversion, thus setting her children up for disaster. Laura can neither entertain men nor care for herself, which is going to leave her lost and confused and unable to simply do anything. Tom feels unfulfilled and finds abandoning his family to be the solution. He doesn't care that he's going to be leaving them out in the cold. He just wants to get away. And Amanda's unable to see this because she's so lost in herself. Also, by holding on to the past where she was so desired and wanted by so many men, she's preventing herself from finding true happiness. If she would just accept that the past is what it is, she chose the wrong guy and he ended up leaving, she could possibly begin to move on and find happiness with another guy who won't leave, or even just within herself. And I could have been Miss Duncan J. Fitzhugh, mind you, but I picked your father. William 1658. This again shows that even after 16 years, Amanda is still unable to let go of the man who left her. Jim. Jim's illusion is found in his dreams. He was once something great, shown when Laura talks about how he was in high school, how he sung so beautifully, and how she even longed to have him sign her program. Now he works at a warehouse, having not been able to accomplish any of his goals. He's thus far been unable to live up to his previous expectations. When he left high school, everyone said that he was going to be the guy that did something with his life. And now he's working in the warehouse, only making a little more money than Tom himself. Repercussions. Jim has unrealistic expectations of himself, which will often only lead to disappointment. He is also unable to let go of the past, the man who he was. He's no longer that man anymore. He's not that man sitting on stage with people throwing roses at him. He just works at a warehouse and goes to night school. Jim stays hidden within his dreams and is unable to face the reality of what his life has become. Because he's unable to see this, I feel like he'll never be able to move on. He'll never be able to make that great thing of himself, unless he does move on. In high school, he had been extremely popular, and had been expected to succeed at whatever he had attempted. Domino 135. When you live outside of reality, you're only further harming yourself and those around you. You cannot hide from the truth and the sense of false reality forever. Most importantly, you cannot hide from yourself. All of these characters are trying to hide from a piece of them. And the fact of the matter is you simply cannot do that. One day or another, someone's going to come up to you and they're going to tell you how it is. They're gonna tell you what your life's become, and that light's gonna click, and you're gonna realize that you spent 40 years thinking of the person you were instead of making the person you are now something great. Jim, Laura, Amanda, and Tom, they all have this problem.